So Shokz got in touch. I'm just as shocked as you are. And they said, could you do a day in the life of an influencer? We'll sponsor the video and send you the product, and you just do the whole, like, film your day and be an influencer thing. Go to New York coffee houses and tart about with a laptop. Influencer? I'm a 44-year-old man in the East Midlands. As an influencer, I like to start my day about 5 to 4 in the morning because the baby has just made a loud bleating noise and mule kicked me in the back. Influenced out of bed. Half asleep, I grab my Shokz and think about leaving the house. Whoops. Heck, it's fine. I start out with a run, even though it's the middle of the night, because I'm an influencer. I haven't even brushed my teeth yet, but thanks to the open-ear headphone design of the Shokz Openfit 2, I can hear traffic coming my way. Even though there isn't any, because it's 5 AM, and I wish I was dead. 44 years old. Thanks to their perfectly contoured over-ear fit, the earphones stay on my head, even through the most vigorous of midlife crises. Halfway to the grave. My day continues in the bathroom, where I attempt to clean the shower cubicle with one hand and my teeth with the other. Because I have a 1-year-old, and the child's sole diet is productivity. Next, I definitely don't put on yesterday's clothes. I put on yesterday's clothes. And then I rub 5 different types of face cream into my face, 4 of which don't work and 1 of them is illegal, because I'm an influencer. Gigantic laundry pile. Next, I work out in jorts, ensuring to only exercise my upper body, because that's all anybody ever sees. Jorts. As several blood vessels explode in my head, I realise just how good the sound here is. Shokz Openfit 2 have patented dual boost technology and Open Bass 2.0, which genuinely makes for the best sounding open ear headphones I've tried so far, because they have separated low frequencies by including an entirely separate speaker to handle them. Thanks to the IP55 water resistance, I can go and stand in the rain to contemplate my life choices, fondly hoping that my wife won't realise that I am neither working nor looking after the baby.
Babe!
Oh, no. Wait, no. No. The open-ear design means I can actually hear my son pooping at the same time as listening to Norah Jones. And thanks to the comfortable ergonomic design and upgraded inner silicone layer, they weigh just 9.4 grams each and mold to the contours of your ear. I've now been wearing them for a full 3 hours. At 8 AM, I start reviewing a product from a company called Shokz, doing side-by-side comparison testing between a product with a 17.3mm bass driver and a product that costs thousands of pounds more money and has a 12-inch bass driver.
Sponsorship cancelled. Sponsorship cancelled. Sponsorship.
I write a joke about Shokz cancelling the sponsorship as a Wait a second. This is now. That's it, I've reached that part of the day. So here is the actual review. The lowdown is quite straightforward. They are out of this world. They have absolutely no right to sound as good as they do because they're not in-ear buds. They're just sat over the top of my earlobes doing their thing. My missus has insisted that she has them when I'm done. She can't. Thankfully, Shokz have sent me 2, so I'm actually going to give some to her.
That's what she said.
But yeah, I've been comparing them really harshly to my Genelec studio monitors, including the subwoofer, and of course, they don't have the same level of kick when it comes to the kick drum, but the rest of the sound is actually really close, not only in detail and accuracy, but also in tonal character once you've adjusted some of the EQ settings in the app. And if you've watched any of my earbud reviews before, you'll know just how excited I am to find EQ settings in this app. It means I can actually do some matching and get something close to flat response, which to me is really important. I was more excited by this than Jeff Bezos was to finally get the rights to Transformers and introduce Amazon Prime to the Optimus Prime family.
Transformers! Optimus, why can't you be more like your brother? So enterprising!
I'm sorry, Mother.
Optimus Prime needs to get a job.
And because, as I said earlier in this review, they're not actually in your ear, I can still hear what's going on around me, and because they're so light, I'm happy to wear them all day. I never wear earbuds all day because I hate them. I've done so many reviews over the years, and I've always felt a little bit guilty at the end of the review because I take them off and never wear them again, because I don't like things in my ears. These are out of this world awesome, and my missus is trying to steal them from me as we speak. But that is nothing compared... I'm over here now. I'm an influencer, I have to keep moving. That is nothing compared to the Dolby audio. I didn't know this was a thing. Dolby audio on these headphones turns them into proper cinema speakers right next to your ear hole. I can actually sit in bed with my missus asleep next to me and watch a movie, and because the ear bleed on these is so minuscule, she can't hear the movie. But the sound quality is just unreal. So this is insane, right? I've got Top Gun playing on the TV right this second, but if I get a phone call on here, it'll stop that and it will start the audio from the phone instead. So I'll hear the phone call, and when the phone call ends, it will switch back to that thing. That's MultiPoint Bluetooth. It's simultaneously connected to both devices, and the phone call takes priority. Insanity. I'm guessing you can't hear that either. That's how little bleed there is that comes from the audio, that you can't actually hear Top Gun playing. It's quite loud in my ears right now. Honestly, just if you're in the same situation I am where you need to be able to carry on watching movies while your missus sleeps, buy them. Buy them immediately. And now, of course, it was time to do what all influencers do under these circumstances and pretend that computers don't exist, so we can write out a handwritten checklist in impossibly neat handwriting. Yep, I said impossibly neat hand... That's like a demented toddler on crack drew it.
Now it's time for a montage, putting glasses on my face and ticking a box like an influencer, yeah. Putting on a hat, it fits so good, yeah. These headphones have such space, and ticking a box like an influencer, yeah. Now I'm taking a nap, don't tell my wife, 'cause she won't understand. They actually fit, I could sleep for a bit. Yeah, my wife doesn't have to know. Now they won't fit in the tiny pocket on the front, yeah, of your jeans. But I'm ticking a box like an influencer, yeah. I whispered, hey Google, and it worked so well. She skipped tracks for me. So I'm ticking a box like an influencer, yeah.
If you stop doing all this AI music, I'm not funny if you go back to slapping people. At least that was funny.
That wasn't AI music. It was Bruno Mars. I can afford him because I'm an influencer. Anyway, this is what the mic will sound like in a WhatsApp video call. So I just wrecked the mic. I just wrecked the mic. Bit of PJ and Duncan there for you. And apparently you're supposed to be able to do this. This is the noisiest vacuum cleaner on earth. And apparently you'll be able to still hear me talking. I can barely hear me talking. So if that works, it's some kind of miracle, but that's what Shokz claims. I've just watched that back and that's really weird. I have to let you hear what this actually sounds like. That's what that thing sounds like. That's what I was just playing on the call recording you just heard. Shut up!
So I'm ticking a box like an influencer, yeah.
How many different models are there for this? Does Shokz offer more than one model?
Always true, there are. No more, no less.
Master Yoda. Don't know why I did this. We hung out for a bit, but never met your heroes. Spent the whole time smoking cigars and talking about girls in this really lurid way. Anyway, he's right. There are two versions of the Shokz Openfit 2. There is the 2 and the 2 Plus. And the only difference between the two is that the 2 Plus has the Dolby audio thing, which you definitely want, and the wireless charging case. So the wireless charging case can actually be plonked on a stand and charged up, whereas the 2 cannot. It's like 10 quid more money. I don't know why anyone would buy the 2. Just get the 2 Plus, trust me. The only thing I haven't now covered is the physical buttons on the thing. The old model didn't have physical buttons. It was kind of like a touch-sensitive thing which used to screw up in the rain. This, obviously, no longer a problem. You can get them as wet as you like. Within reason, don't dunk them underwater. And you can press the buttons then, and obviously they react just fine. And the buttons can be set up to do all sorts of stuff. You can actually choose what you want them to do in the app. They can do play and pause, they can change volume, and they can skip tracks. Any elephants in the room this week? Yeah, just this one. I can only find one thing wrong, and I guess that makes sense. It's Shokz. They're a big name brand, and they make good stuff. But the one thing I do feel I need to mention is that the Dolby audio, if you turn it on to watch a movie, and then later on you go and listen to some music, you'll find that the music has this weird reverb, and then you go, the Dolby audio's on, and you'll turn it off again. And then you come to watch a movie, and you go, turn it back on again. Which means that every time you go to watch a movie, you have to get the app out of your pocket and turn Dolby audio on, and then every time you stop watching a movie, you need to get the app out of your pocket and turn Dolby audio off. I kind of just think this could have been some sort of automation. Maybe not, maybe I'm being an idiot, but perhaps if you're listening to Dolby, and Spotify starts up, maybe that could have been their trigger to have the Dolby audio automatically switch off. That's something you have to do manually, and I thought it was worth mentioning. The only other thing with the Dolby is that you can't alter the EQ once it's turned on. So if you're watching a movie and you're just thinking, I could do with a little bit more bass, you can't turn the bass up at that point because the Dolby audio takes over the EQ. Whether that matters or not is anybody's guess, because I mean, it really does sound amazing. I can't sing its praises enough for watching a movie with the things in your ears. If you're in the market for some new headphones, these things will absolutely blow you away. I'm giving Nisha the 2s, keeping the 2 Plus. Sorry, babe. But they're just so good. We've been comparing them, my wife and I, to my current reigning champions, the Soundcore Liberty NC4s. I said that right. I think that's right. And they're the ones my wife has been using probably for the last year or so. And when she heard these, she said, I'm going to swap. The Soundcore Liberty NC4s, whatever they're called, are incredible earbuds, but it's not the same as having speakers just outside of your ear where you can still hear the outside world. I personally hate the feeling of earbuds. If you don't hate the feeling of earbuds, perhaps you don't need these. I think some of what you're paying for is obviously the technology to have them open so that you can hear the world around you and you don't feel like you've got Swiss cheese stuck in your ears. If you're like me and you need that, or in fact you simply want to be able to watch movies in bed without your missus hearing you and you need to listen out for a baby, wow. Or generally, I mean, even if you don't need to listen out for anything, honestly, these sound ridiculously good, and I can't recommend them enough. If you're looking to get something that's going to give your ears a really, really good sound for both music and for movies, I think you've just found it. Links are in the description as usual if you want to pick one up. All that's left to do is to thank these incredible people running up your screen, and again, I'm trying to thank someone personally every week, and every week I get more than one new patron, and I'm just blown away. I'm so humbled by that. So I've got to thank Gary Rowe, AR, and Wade Wilson. The Wade Wilson?
That's the coolest name ever!
Either way, thank you so much, guys. And if you want to be like those guys or like those guys, you can do that at either Patreon or buy me a one-off beer at PayPal. And either way, I'll genuinely love you forever. These are my Facebooks, my X, my Threads, my Instagrams, my TikToks. Coming out there, I can be best friends. See you next time.